This is about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is a big Obama supporter. He's a big supporter of the Democrat Party. He writes op-eds that are quoted by the media about how we need to be taxed more. And I want to help reveal to you, thanks to these other gentlemen, how sleazy his operation really is. Whatever you're doing, I encourage you to put it down, turn up the volume, and really listen to this. Because this is why I am telling you that the people who are meeting on this super committee, this Politburo, are not only incapable of doing the right thing when it comes to our economy, they have no intention of doing it. Hall writes, in the wake of the $700 billion TARP bailout, Warren Buffett apparently shaped a plan to clean up toxic assets that Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner later adopted, resulting in massive profits for Warren Buffett. According to Peter Schweizer, after the bailout bill's passage, Buffett sat down and wrote then Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson a 4-page private letter laying out a plan to clean up the toxic assets plaguing numerous financial institutions. Buffett proposed something he called a public-private partnership fund. Whenever you hear that, public-private partnership fund, run for the hills. That means you're about to get ripped off and somebody's about to get rich. For every $10 billion the private sector invested, Buffett said the government should put up $40 billion. Now, after Paulson's exit, incoming Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner, well, he tweaked the plan and rolled it out in March 2009. But according to quarterly reports from Buffett's holding company, Berkshire Hathaway, between the time the billionaire crafted his plan and Geithner adopted it, Buffett quietly purchased 12.4 million shares of Wells Fargo stock and 1.5 million shares of U.S. Bancorp. Once the government unveiled its public-private investment program, bank stocks jumped, resulting in large profits for Buffett, or as I like to call him, Buffet. How much Buffett profited is hard to calculate, since there's no way to know what his purchase price was. But prior to the government adopting Buffett's plan, Wells Fargo had been trading at roughly $20 a share. In the weeks after Geithner's announcement, the stock jumped to $30 a share. Likewise, U.S. Bancorp went from $8 in February 2009 to more than $20 a share by May. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, crony capitalism pays. Not for you, you pay for it. But for people like Warren Buffett. And let me stop here a moment and explain. All this talk, all this imagery with Obama about equality and fairness, about corporate jets and yachts. This is the front man, Obama. Behind the scenes, Obama's friends are making a fortune. Obama's causes and their treasury are being funded with your hard-earned dollars. This president, this administration, is the biggest scam in American history. Now, Schweizer's revelations contradict the image Warren Buffett has worked hard to create as that of a folksy, grandfatherly figure who stays above the political fray and rarely gets mired in the muck of partisan politics. Indeed, he uncovers other alarming acts of apparent crony capitalism performed by the so-called Oracle of Omaha. Now, Mr. Buffett, if you'd love to come on this program, I'd love to have you. You can hear us in Omaha, Nebraska. Just let us know. For example, Schweizer examines Buffett's intense private lobbying efforts and deftly timed stock buys that leveraged TARP bailout monies to create up to $3.7 billion in windfall profits for Berkshire Hathaway. So everybody's going broke. People are losing their homes. And one multi-billionaire is earning more billions. Warren Buffett. No wonder he doesn't think we're taxed enough. He's doing just swell. He hasn't invented a damn thing. He hasn't created a damn thing. He's just moving money around and lobbying and sending personal letters and getting a heads up here and there. And such a genius. What a genius of a businessman. In September of 2008, Buffett invested $5 billion in the over-leveraged investment house of Goldman Sachs, having obtained impressive terms. Berkshire Hathaway would receive preferred stock with a 10% dividend yield and the option to buy another $5 billion at $115 a share. Now, as the political debate surrounding the proposed $700 billion TARP bailout bill heated up, Buffett maintained an appearance of naivete and all-shucks shtick. I had to read that slowly because the wrong words may have come out. That deferred to the judgment of politicians. Quote, I'm not brave enough to try and influence the Congress, Buffett told the New York Slimes. But behind closed doors, Buffett had become a shrewd political entrepreneur. With his Goldman bet in place, the billionaire exerted his considerable political influence in a private conference call with then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats. And during the meeting, Buffett strongly urged Democratic members to pass the $700 billion TARP bill to avert what he warned would otherwise be the biggest financial meltdown in American history. He had a strong financial interest in the bailout's passage, says Schweitzer. If the bailout went through, it would be a windfall for Goldman. If it failed, it would be disastrous for Berkshire Hathaway. Are you believing this crap? Yet Buffett had little reason to worry. His insider political connections afforded him two guarantees. First, many members of Congress were themselves investing heavily in Berkshire Hathaway throughout the bailout talks, a move that may simply have been a good investment in an unsteady time, or else a shrewd exploitation of unique information. Senator Dick Durbin, Little Dick from Illinois, for example, snatched up $130,000 worth of Berkshire Hathaway stock. And it goes on and on, other members of Congress. We will link to this story. You get the sense of what's going on here, folks, don't you? We debate issues like TARP and bailing out industries and specific companies on the merits, on substance. And we reject it as conservatives. And we're told time and again, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We have to do this or we have to do that, and then they do it. We're told by Republicans in and out of government at the Wall Street Journal, the Weekly Standard, and other places, you have to do this, or the sky is falling. And then we do it. And I don't mean just to pick on those two publications. There's others. And some people become extremely wealthy. I'm not against people becoming extremely wealthy if they do it fair and square, if they do it in the free market system. But when they're stealing from us, directly or indirectly, when they're using political clout to get a law passed or a spending bill passed, they're ripping us off. That's not the purpose of a representative republic. That's not the purpose of a constitutional system. And so many of you stupid, naive liberals out there, oh, and yes, you are stupid and naive. You cheer it on and you defend it because you don't even comprehend what the hell's going on. You think it's for the little guy when the little guy's getting screwed. You think it's for the financial system when the financial system's being milked. It's time to grow up. Because this steamroller isn't just aimed at conservatives. It's aimed at everybody.